Do you feel emotionally connected to your plants? As if in the process of caring for them, they as well are caring for you? What about planty DIYs and thrifting for plant items? If I have your attention, then the Plants by Wade Lee podcast is for you. Join me, plant friends, as we dig deep and experience the magic of plants. Hey, plant people, welcome to the 4th episode of the Plants by Wade Lee podcast. I'm Wade Lee. I am with the beautiful Kriya of She Digs Dirt here on Instagram. You can find her. She is a plantrepreneur. I've been honored to meet her face to face. She gave me a special delivery of this beautiful elbow. If you're watching the video, you can see this beautiful baby. And this is She Digs Dirt premium soil. But look how beautiful she's doing. Ah, gorgeous. All right, my love. Yeah, very happy. Let me put her back, and then let's get into this. I'm so excited. I know as trade, you are a hairdresser, as I am. Let's talk a little bit about how you've transitioned this love for plants as a business too, alongside all the plants that you have. Following you on Instagram, I see your stories when you're in the shop, and I'm like, what do you mean you're going to open up a plant shop? This is a plant shop. Like, where are your products? All I see is plants. It's so awesome. But just tell me a little bit about how you started as a hairdresser. And up, like, did you grow up here? Are you a Floridian girl? Let's just get started with that.
Okay. Well, I've been in Florida most of my life, but I'm originally from Tennessee. So my family's in Tennessee, and then my mom and I moved to Florida. I have a brother, and he stayed with my dad, but we still keep in good contact, But my family's from Tennessee. I've been here, so I would consider myself a Floridian because I've been here since I was 10, and I'm 48. My mom's a hairdresser. My grandmother is a hairdresser on my mom's side, so I'm third generation. So I think it was just kind of, even though I always said I would never do hair, I'm never going to do hair. But I managed restaurants, and when I graduated high school and did, the whole bartender server thing, and ended up managing restaurants. And then whenever I met my first husband, I got married, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years. But I always did landscape. Like, I always had a passion for growing stuff. But I never, ever, ever, this is a funny thing, because I never wanted an inside plant. I thought that was stupid. And now I've got like 1,000.
That's insane.
When did it switch? Chapters. So I guess when we a few years back, this is jumping way forward because I've been doing hair now for 13 years. I was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, and then when I got a divorce, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I was cleaning houses and stuff when the girls started school, so I would just have something to do during the day. And then I decided, finally, I guess I was ready to go to beauty school and make a career out of it. So I did. I went to beauty school and started doing hair right here in Melrose, Keystone area, before I opened my own shop, But so I guess a few years ago when we did our outside pool area, I wanted to have a couple plants out here, but I just didn't. So that's when I got the fiddly leaf figs and kind of, stuff like that. And then orchids, I got really into orchids. And that's why I got my tattoo, is whenever I felt like I conquered the challenge of orchids to actually first keep them alive, and then for them to continue to grow and bloom after, when you buy an orchid and you've got the blooms on there and then all of a sudden they fall off and you're like, oh, damn, what do I do now? So anyway, so the orchids, I conquered the orchid thing, and then I decided, I forget what it was that I actually saw. I can't really pinpoint like where or what happened or how I got into the inside plants. I remember visiting a plant shop in Winter Haven, and I fell in love with that plant shop, and that's when I decided that I wanted to have my own plant shop one day. I was like, I want one of these. I want one of these right here. I just loved her plant shop, the potting bench. She was amazing. I spent probably 3 hours there the first day that I went there.
Is that shop still open?
Uh-huh, yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
In Winter Haven. Yeah, the potting bench. Super cute. I love it. Yeah, so she's awesome. And I've even talked to her a couple of times, asking her questions. She's been very helpful. like where to order stuff from or how to get this, or even down to like what kind of software to use for your plant shop, what's easiest when you're doing inventory. It's just a lot to keep up with getting started. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it definitely is, and the licensing and all of
Right.
that.
Right,
Oh,
right, right. It's a lot. So being that I had this salon already, and we had narrowed it down to where it was just like my mom and I didn't have, I had two other people at first, but then it was just like, it was just kind of a lot, and they kind of went their own ways, and then I was like, rather than getting someone else in, I'm just going to kind of have it be just mom and I for a little while, and then that was about the same time that I got into plants. So I wanted to bring. I've always had something extra in the shop, like whether it be purses or some kind of cool something extra besides just the hair stuff. And so I had a lot of room now that it was just mom and I. So I started bringing plants in, and just kind of it just took off. It was like everybody loved it. So even
I'm
if they
sure.
don't buy plants, they love sitting in it. They're like, oh, this feels like I'm in paradise, while their hair's processed and they're sitting in their chair like by the plants, just plants make me
Yeah, that's
happy.
awesome. It's so awesome. I know. Even yesterday, I did that pop up uh, with Plant Stay, and people would walk into the tent and they're like, "I just want to hang out here all day." And
Yes,
that's why I never want to leave this room that I'm in right now, because I'm
I know
like,
your room looks
this is my
awesome.
sanctuary. I love. Yeah, I put all the monsteras up on the potting table for you that I have. I was
Yeah, it
like,
looks great.
thanks. Um, so now that you have the plants in the salon and you have this beautiful grow tent, you also not tent, sorry, greenhouse. You are getting ready to open up a brick and mortar shop.
Yes, we're working on doing that. So it'll be separate from the salon. So I'll do the salon, and then I'll have the plant shop. Especially in this area in Keystone, I feel like hopefully one day people will travel. Like when I want to go to a plant shop, I'll travel to Jacksonville. I'll travel to, or even before I was in the plant shops, like nurseries. All nurseries have different things. They offer different things. Some of them are basic. Some of them you. Anyway, so I have my favorite nurseries around here, but then also with plant shops. Like I love going to Orlando and going to Succulents Empire. That's so, you've been there. It's so much
Yeah.
fun, and it's like an event to go to a plant shop. So I'm hoping that Keystone there's a lot of people that are excited about it, but as far as being open, 5 days a week, it's not going to be like that. It'll be at first just like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing. Maybe my mom is super interested in working there part time, and so she has become a major plant mom. So
Really?
yes, she loves it, So she's really gotten into it over the past year, and she loves learning all the names, and she loves learning about them. So she's going to be great. I feel like for like a Thursday. So when she's not in the salon, she could be up there. And then I want to hopefully do like my plant story sales from there, do all my shipping there. I'll just have a lot more room there. And then events, like I would like, there's room out in front of the plant shop because it's like on this corner lot right on the highway. But there's plenty of room. So like I picture having like vendors, kind of like where you were yesterday, or
Yeah.
like Keystone used to have an arts and crafts festival, and that people would bring their tents and stuff. So it doesn't have to necessarily be just plant related, but I feel like that would bring people to that corner, and then they can come and see the shop, or come in and have like a. I definitely am going to have a grand opening. I know that jumped subjects, but um, anyway, so it'll be something that will be there at first, just kind of part time, or I'll schedule events. So if there is going to be like a Friday night something or a Saturday day class, like a terrarium building class, that I did one here at my house. I had 8 girls, and we had the best time ever making these terrariums, and everybody was so happy. And they still update me every once in a while. They're like, my terrarium's doing amazing, or so that was really fun, and everybody
That's
had a good time. We were here for about 2 or 2.5 hours, and they made their terrariums. We all visited, had a good time, took some pictures. But anyway, I want to offer stuff like that. Have like a potting bar, or um, I don't know. I've got so many ideas. There's just never enough time to do everything. So I'm
I
hoping
love.
that's going to be like a staging area. Having the separate plant shop will be like a staging area for moving forward to the next chapter.
Have you've been selling on Instagram stories, you said, but tell me a little bit about Plant Story and how you got started doing it. You just had your second sale. I'm sure it was very, very successful. Your
It went
first one,
really good.
great. That's awesome.
Yeah, it went really good. Have you done Plant Store yet? Are you selling any plants or done? Yes.
No, I haven't. I sell at a store in St. Augustine,
Yeah.
at a place called the Refillery. But then I just yesterday was the first pop up I've done, so
Did
I'm
you love
pretty.
it? Was
They,
it
oh,
a
I loved it. It was awesome.
We're gonna have to put it on the calendar. I don't know when they do this, but I want to do it with you, and I want to make sure that I'm beside you because I feel like that would be the kind of thing that I would like to do. There was a little one here in Melrose that I did, but they weren't. People, a lot of people just aren't exposed to these certain kind of plants. So if they see even something for like $30, they're like, "That girl's crazy," you know, she's out of her mind. So I would love to actually go to a place like where you went and set up for people who are there and they know what they're looking for, you know? So
Yeah,
we
I
have to
mean
put
there
that on
was
our calendar and do that next year for sure.
for
But
sure.
Plant Story is a great avenue to sell right from your house without having to pack up stuff, without having to do. The only thing is, which I'm working on that, is with shipping because I'm just me. You know what I mean? So I'll get all these orders together, and then everybody's in different areas all over the United States. You know, so do they need heat packs? Does it need to be insulated? I kind of watch the weather, and I can't get everything out in a day or two. Sometimes it takes me a week, so it's not like your typical, or I don't know. I'm thinking typical places that I've ordered from where it's there within a few days, you know. Um, but I'm working on it, and the last story and my last sales, everyone gave me 5 stars, and they were happy with everything. I just made sure I communicated with them. If I didn't get it out, I'm like, hey, I'm working on it, and you know, I got you. I'm gonna send it, you know, right away or whatever. So
That's
anyway, so I'm
awesome.
finding that balance with shipping and stuff, and but Plant Story has been, I mean, it's been pretty easy to work with as far as the setup. You know, they take their commission, they guide you though and show you how to use everything, and I feel like it's definitely worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Well,
it.
and it's fun. It's like
Fun.
you're watching a
Yes.
show. I mean, I've been to many that I haven't even purchased, but just watching and hearing, the plant
Everybody
chat is
talks,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like helping you out. Like I can't see every comment that comes up, or somebody might say, "Hey, can you show me that Sansevieria #1 that I bought? I just didn't. I want to see it again." You know, so I can like somebody will say, "Hey, Kriya, somebody asked," you know, because the comments come up really fast. So they'll say, "Hey, Kriya, somebody asked for that," so then I can like pull it out and be like, "Oh yeah," you know. So I feel like everybody's like they're in it together. You know, we're all like trying to work together, and basically just we're all hanging out like a plant party. It's fun.
Well, and what I enjoyed about your plant story as well is that you just didn't sell plants. You were selling your soil and magic juice. Let's talk about your magic juice.
That's a big thing. I love it. I'm so glad that you brought that up. And yeah, somebody else brought that up to me. They're like, it was super cool that you offered plant accessories, you know, not just plants. So I've got the Dig It soil and the growth technology, which I sell in the shop, and like the Bug Hut additives, I sell those, and then the other one is Plant Bar, like the Dead AF and the Leaf Wellness. And now I'm starting to add in watering cans, and you know, I just kind of like a little mini pop up sale of my shop, like what I kind of have to offer is kind of what I'm offering on the plant story too. But the root zone and the clone cutting solution is what makes up the magic juice. Um, I just kind of coined the phrase. I know that there's a different name for it. I got that idea from the Leca Queen. She's she's a big. She uses that, you know, like Sydney the plant guy. He uses growth technology. You use growth technology. It's
Yeah.
like when you know, you know, because
Well,
it
and
is.
I only started using it though because of you. I
Oh,
had not
really?
heard of it before.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess because it is, you know, it's kind of new in the U.S. It's not out, you know, but I know like Jack's Jungle carries it in her store. There's a few places that I've seen some other specialty plant shops because whenever I signed up to be a wholesaler for them, you know, I had asked her what other kind of shops or where else. There's a place in Jacksonville I think that carries it, but it's very small still.